And I'm gonna ask you
Yeah.
again. Stoyo, the Seahawks let their emotions get the best of them in the end. Michael Bennett was seen going at linemen's knees in victory formation. Sheldon Richardson was ejected for throwing a punch. Um, Backup defensive end Quentin Jefferson attempted to go into the Jacksonville stands after fans threw stuff at him on his way to the locker room. What do you think of the way Seattle handled this loss?
I think they handled this loss terribly. I know they're upset. This was one of the games they should have won. At least that's how they feel, especially when they beat the Eagles last week. But you cannot do this. You just cannot. Especially if you want to go back to the playoffs and with everything that you have said. Especially Bennett. I'm going to quote what he said last year. When people block field goals, those are turning points in a lot of the games. 1 point. Most of the NFL games are decided by 1 point unless you're playing the Jaguars or something. Then it's decided by 50.
Wow.
So by saying this, I'm sure the Jaguars weren't happy and they marked that game on the schedule.
Yeah.
And then you lose the game. So you can't have that. I also found another quote from him last year. To me, it is scary. Bitch ass move. Honestly, I think if you dive at someone's legs, you're a little bitch. If you are big in the NFL, you just line up and play. Why would you go and cut someone's on that play? I mean, I don't know. That shit is stupid to me. Why cut somebody when you can just line up and win? I don't know. I don't come off the ball jumping at offensive linemen's legs. It's a bitch ass move, personally.
Wow. Man, great quote. I couldn't have said it better, Michael Bennett. That was a bitch ass move. You're going at your form. The NFL is a brotherhood. It's a bunch of players. They should all be together. I get that your emotions are running high, but to go, Greg Schiano learned the lesson that when a team is in victory formation, accept defeat like a man and get ready for the next week. Accept it. You played the game, you lost, get them next time. And to me, I don't have a problem. I don't have a problem with Quentin Jefferson because the fans started that. I don't have a problem with Sheldon Richardson because I feel like Jacksonville was going at him as well. The guy who started that whole thing was Michael Bennett, and I think it was a bitch move to go at an offensive lineman's knee. You're trying to end a guy's career. Pete Carroll tried to defend it by saying that he was going for the ball. It's victory formation. You lost the game. Let it go. What do you think, Gavin?
Yeah, that was just despicable what Bennett did. Then he went for the knees, and then as the lineman stepped over him, just it didn't to me appear like it was any sort of dominance thing. It was just he's trying to get out of the way, get off of Bennett. Bennett grabs his leg and then starts rolling and twisting. So then further, to me, I think that's a blatant attempt to try and injure the guy, and then continues to tackle him even after he's twisted him to the ground.
Yeah.
The play's been over for seconds now. The game is over, and he's just taking it out on the center for Jacksonville. It was despicable, and I really hope that the NFL looks into it and steps in and does something because they're trying to protect players and suspending players for making hits in game to the head. This to me is worse than that. This is on par with Gronkowski's hit to me because this is blatant disrespect to that player and a blatant attempt to injure him when there's no need to be even in contact with the guy.
Exactly. And if the NFL wants to get it right, if the NFL, I understand, throw those fans out. Don't let those fans back in an NFL stadium. That's justice. You know what else is justice? Suspending Michael Bennett at least one game. I'm cool with just
Absolutely.
I'm cool with just one game, but suspend him. If you're gonna put out a front that you care about player safety, you have to come to the defense of the Jacksonville offensive line here. Um, Embarrassing performance. I'm a fan of the Seahawks defense, and embarrassing performance. Um, on a lighter note, Stoyo, are the Seahawks still a contender?
I believe so.
Yeah.
It's going to be difficult for them. They pretty much have to win out, and their schedule is not favorable at all. So,
Yeah.
They're going to have to win everything. They're playing the Rams next week, the Cowboys, and the Cardinals. So pretty much next week at home versus the Rams is the season on the line.
Yeah.
So can they do it?
I would say that this game shouldn't have been as close as it was. Russell Wilson, despite the turnovers, in my opinion, was putting the team on his back and got him as close as he could. In my opinion, Russell Wilson is a definite MVP candidate. Gavin, what do you think of Russell Wilson? And on the other side, do you think that Jacksonville is a potential contender with that after this statement win?
Yeah, Russell Wilson has always, just ever since he got into the NFL, he's just always impressed me. His ability to scramble and keep plays alive, and his receivers have found ways to just get open. When a play breaks down, they know where to find the holes and where to make themselves available to him. I think that they've got a tough road ahead of them. They got a really important game this week, like Stoyo said, against the Rams. But then they've got the Dallas at home, who's also making a playoff push there in the NFC.
Yeah.
So if they lose either of those two games, I think that could be enough to push them out of the playoff picture for this year.
Yeah, and Ezekiel Elliott will be back for that Cowboys game too.
Right. Yeah. So their defense is hurting right now. So especially if Michael Bennett were to be suspended for the game against the Rams, that could be a crucial blow because he's probably their best defensive lineman, even when everybody's healthy.
Yep. Yeah.
I will say this: if they do make it into the playoffs, they're gonna be coming in a playoff mentality because the past 3 weeks have been tough games after tough game after tough game.
Yeah.
So I would not want to face Seattle in the first round.
Yeah, going back to it, I think it would be justice to suspend Michael Bennett for a huge game against the Rams. You're going to go out there and do dumb stuff like that. You deserve to be punished, and that could majorly hurt his team.
I agree. Something needs to happen. This is one of the worst plays I've seen this season. You just can't have that, especially after you have those lovely quotes.
Yep, and everyone wants to label Ndamukong Suh dirty, and what he did when he got suspended for a big game against the Packers, well, Michael Bennett could easily fall into that same category after stuff like this. Sunday night, in my opinion, a game of the year. A great game, a hard-fought game against a hated division. The Steelers get the win and improve to 11-2. Beating the Ravens 39-38. Ben Roethlisberger throws for 506 yards, 2 touchdowns, no interceptions. Joe Flacco throws for 269 and 2 touchdowns, but not quite enough. Alex Collins goes for 120 yards and a touchdown. Huge game for Antonio Brown, who is an MVP candidate. 11 catches, 213 yards. Le'Veon Bell combines for 125 yards and 3 touchdowns. The Steelers' offense made that vaunted Ravens defense look non-existent at times. Gavin, what do you think of the Steelers' performance? They were down 2 scores multiple times in the second half and found a way to get a big win.
Yeah, they might have the best offense in the NFL. I think I would put them number one, which you see Roethlisberger threw the ball 66 times, which is an obscene amount, and completed 44 of them, so a 67% completion percentage. 213 of those to Antonio Brown, best receiver in the NFL, in my opinion. Central Michigan University product, represent. They definitely were missing Ryan Shazier, though. You saw that in their lack of run defense. Alex Collins ran all over them in this game. He had 120 yards, and his longest run was only 21, so it's not like he broke off a 60-yard run. So 18 carries, almost averaging over 6 yards a carry. They definitely are missing the center of their defense in Shazier.
Yeah.
So hopefully they can get their defense together by this next week, because they're going to be this could be determining the home field advantage for the playoffs, which, as we all know, they really need if they're going to go to the Super Bowl, because they can't win in Foxborough.
Yeah, I picked the Ravens in this game. I was even texting Stoyo during this game saying black and purple, and they didn't quite get the job done. The Ravens put up a good fight. It would have been a huge win for them, but this loss has them sitting outside the playoffs. Stoyo, what'd you make of this game?
This game was a lot closer than I thought it would be. The Steelers had to come back and win by 1 point. I thought the Steelers were going to win by probably at least 14 points.
Yeah.
So I misjudged this game. But yeah, Joe Cool showed up. The Ravens showed up, and they almost beat the Steelers. But the Steelers have to be the best team in the AFC right now.
Yeah.
And their offense is just ridiculous.
Yeah.
And they did this without their future star, Juju Schuster.
Yeah.
And yeah, Antonio Brown is the best receiver in the game right now, and an MVP candidate.
Yeah.
You don't hear a lot of MVP candidates from the wide receiver position. I'm going to ask this question to Gavin. Do you think Megatron's record is in jeopardy with 3 weeks left? Antonio Brown has about 1,500 yards right now.
Let me look at the Steelers' schedule. I mean, he certainly has the ability to. I mean, you see him go over 100 yards frequently. He gets multiple passes throughout each game. So I think there's definitely a possibility. They play the Patriots, who that's going to be a shootout, I think we all believe. So he will likely be very involved there. The Texans, they don't have a great passing defense, so he could be utilized a lot there. I think it could all rest on whether they sit their starters in Week 17 against the Browns. It's at home in Pittsburgh. I don't think they're going to need to play their starters for the full time. So I think, depending on how close it is, I think they might push for it for him. And if he does, I think for me he needs to get over 2,000. If he's going to break it, Calvin was about 50 yards away or so. And if Antonio is going to break it, I think he needs to break 2 records. He needs to be the first to eclipse 2,000, and he needs to get ahead of Calvin.
He needs to average 166 yards a game to get over 2,000.
Well, yeah, I don't think he'll do it, but hell of a year, and he should be an MVP candidate. In the history of the NFL, a wide receiver has never won league MVP.
Yeah.
Speaking of quarterbacks we didn't expect to excel, on Monday night, the great Jay Cutler shows up to shock the Patriots 27-20 in Miami and end the Patriots' 8-game winning streak. Cutler throws for 263 yards and 3 touchdowns with no turnovers. Patriots quarterback Tom Brady throws for 223 yards and 2 picks, both to Dolphins corner Xavier Howard. The Dolphins got 193 all-purpose yards from running back Kenyon Drake. And the Patriots very uncharacteristically go 0 for 11 on 3rd down in this game. All that being said, regardless, I have a feeling Belichick's going to have the Patriots ready for the Steelers. And that's going to be a hell of a game. Stoyo, what'd you think of good Jay Cutler showing up?
It was nice to see. You don't get that every week.
Yeah.
So when good Cutler shows up, or every year, it's nice to see. Unfortunately, the first time I get to see good Cutler in a while, I lose power in, I believe, the second quarter.
Uh-huh.
So I did not get to see Jay Cutler dominate against the Patriots. But from what I saw, Brady was looking his age.
Yeah.
And that's a little bit scary if you're a Patriots fan, especially how good Garoppolo has been looking. I know it's just one game, but last week you had Brady arguing on the sideline with his OC. This week, he's not looking the part. And it's a questionable move.
Gavin, what do you think? Do you think that the Brady is showing a little bit of his age? We all know that Tom Brady doesn't turn the ball over that often. You can look at his season and career stats and see that. And Tom Brady has thrown an interception now in 3 straight games. I think it's easy to overreact, and I don't think we should. But what do you think? Do you think there might be an actual problem in New England?
I think we need to remember that they were missing their best weapon on offense in this game, in Gronkowski.
Yep.
So if you take away the number one receiver and a almost matchup-proof receiver, in Gronkowski, given his size and his speed, I think that's going to hurt any quarterback, even the GOAT. So I think that might have had something to do with it. They may have been looking ahead to the Steeler game next week, like you mentioned. I'm seeing that winning that game is more important than winning this game.
Yeah.
But I also think it would be foolish and not a Bill Belichick thing to not take each game as to be important, because winning this game or losing this game could be the difference between home field advantage through the playoffs for them. They also signed Kenny Britt today.
Yep.
Yeah. So I think that points to them realizing that they just need a little bit more insurance on the receiving side. Brady struggled without Gronkowski, so they tried to sign another veteran receiver, and hopefully this one for them works out a little better than when they sign another aging receiver such as Reggie Wayne or Chad Johnson or Joey Galloway or any of those guys that never panned out for them.
Yep. Yeah, it's going to be interesting. A hell of a week 14. Let's make some predictions for week 15. We got some more great games. I'm pretty excited about some Saturday football. Bears at Lions on Saturday. The 4-9 Bears at the 7-6 Lions. I have a feeling I know where you're going on this, Gavin. Who you got?
I got Lions all the way in this one. This is a must-win game for them at home. I think that they're going to keep riding the momentum that they gained this last week, beating the Bucs, and they're gonna pull out another win at home against their division rival.
Yeah, it's going to be a great game. Last year, the Bears got swept by the Lions. They're in danger of doing that again this year. Stoyo, do you think the Bears get swept again?
I hope not. The Bears have nothing to play for, but they could knock the Lions out of the playoffs. So can we at least show up? I know it's difficult for you, John Fox, to win against a division team, but please, once, win. Please pass the ball on first down. And unleash your rookie, QB.
Put it in the
hands. Can we just dominate for once? I want to go to Detroit and stomp them. I want to win.
Yeah, I mean, the Lions obviously are going to need this more and probably want this more. It's a big game. You know what? If we get swept again by the Lions, I'm going to be unhappy, to say the least. I don't enjoy getting swept. I don't enjoy not being competitive. We saw some improvement from Trubisky. Our running game is good. Our defense is good at times. And let's show up. Let's beat the Lions. Let's find a way. You know, I'm a Bears fan. I'm going Bears. I got to go Bears. We'll see how it goes. Either way, it should be a good game. And it better be competitive. That's all I got to say.
My heart says Bears. My mind says Lions.
Yeah, same here. I'm going to pick the...
It's what one of our former teacher used to say all the time.
Yeah.
But my issue with the Bears right now is they have absolutely no pass rush. And, yeah, that's going to be very difficult against Matthew Stafford. But from my understanding, Stafford is playing hurt.
Yeah. I
So,
think I have a feeling that Matt Prater is going to do some dumb stuff at the end of the game and find a way to get the Lions a win. But official prediction, I'm going to say Bears 23-20.
You have a strange definition of dumb stuff.
from our point of view, he's got to get drunk at the sideline and kick.
My definition, Prater did some dumb stuff this week, and he's probably going to do some dumb stuff again this next week.
Well, I'm all for that kind of dumb stuff.
Prater beat us with Denver.
Yeah.
When he was kicking while Tebow was there. And he beat us, I believe, on the 58-yarder.
Wow.
Yeah, Prater is known to play around with the dagger for us.
Yep.
So,
we'll see. It's going to be... It'll be fun to at least have some football, though. That'll be followed up with a Saturday night game. An epic AFC West showdown, the 7-6 Chargers at the 7-6 Chiefs. Stoyo, I'm going to start with you. You've been riding the Chargers. You got them again?
No, I'm going to turn around and gonna pick the Chiefs. I'm kidding, obviously. I'm going to go with the Chargers all the way. Let's see if they can stop Keenan Allen.
All right. What do you think, Gavin?
This is a really tough one. My gut says Chiefs. They showed that they might have gotten it back together this last week. They're playing at home. They got it together on the back of their running back. And if I'm not mistaken, the Chargers have one of the worst rush defenses in the league. So if they can get Kareem Hunt going, then I think that could be the turning point for that game.
Yeah. Kareem Hunt seems to be the X factor for that team. What's your final prediction?
I think it's still going to be a pretty good scoring game. I'm going to guess 24-21 Chiefs.
Nice. I'm going Chiefs as well. I think that they figured it out. And the Chargers have a history of blowing it a little bit at the end of the year. I'm going to say Chiefs get the win. I'm going to say the Chiefs' offense has been better of late. I'm going to say 31-30 Chiefs.
33-30 Chargers.
Nice. On Sunday, the Packers will go to Carolina. I haven't heard officially whether Aaron Rodgers is playing, but I believe that he is. I think the Packers are, trying to go all in, trying to sneak their way into the playoffs like they did last year. Packers at Panthers. What do you think, Stoyo?
I cannot pick the Packers, even though I can't do it. They should have been out of playoff contention. I cannot believe they won multiple games with Brett fucking Hundley. It's beyond me. It is beyond me. So I'm going to pick against the Packers, no matter who they play.
Yeah. Go Panthers. What do you think, Gavin?
I'm going to say Panthers. Even with Aaron Rodgers, I think he's going to be a little rusty. I think that's going to play a part in this, especially since they're playing in Carolina. No official word yet on whether he will play, but as of today, Rodgers was officially cleared, medically cleared to return. So at this point, it's just a coaching decision on whether he's going to play or not. So I won't be. Even though I picked the Panthers, I won't at all be shocked if Aaron Rodgers comes out and just thumps them, because he's Aaron freaking Rodgers.
Yeah, I'm gonna pick the Panthers. In Cam, I trust. Find a way. It's a big game for Carolina too. They're in a tough division battle, so I'm gonna pick the Panthers. I might be eating my words. Anytime Aaron Rodgers gets back on that field, he seems to pull some magic out, so I'll definitely be watching this. I'm gonna say Panthers, something like 20, 24, 21 or something like that. Another good game on Sunday. The Rams 9-4 at the Seahawks 8-5. Where do you see this going, Stoyo?
I'm going to have to pick Seattle because they're at home.
Yep.
And hopefully Pete Carroll and the crew knows what they're doing and figure out a way to beat the Rams. That defense shouldn't be able to stop LA, but somehow, I don't know what they do up there. At home, they just play so much better, and that 12th man should be an issue, especially if Goff needs his coaching help for the audibles. So if the 12 does its job, it should make life more difficult for Goff.
Yeah, I agree. What do you think, Gavin?
Yeah, I think Seattle wins this one. I think it's going to be by more than 10 points even.
Wow.
I think if Seattle can beat the Eagles and Wentz in Seattle, I think they'll have an easier time with Goff and the Rams. But I would love it to be proved wrong. I'd like to see Goff make a playoff run, make a relatively deep one, just get him that experience and give LA some enjoyment in January for the first time in who knows how long.
Yeah, this is when it gets interesting. Jared Goff playing some primetime, meaningful football. And I got to go with Russell Wilson. I got to go with the team that's been there before. And I got to go Seahawks. I think it's going to be a good game, and I think Seattle's going to have a tough time with Todd Gurley. But I think Seahawks win something like a 27-24. And then lastly, we're going to go Patriots 10-3 at the Steelers 11-2. Where do you see this game going, Stoyo?
I have Pittsburgh all the way.
Yeah.
And I hope they're going to win now and against the Patriots in the playoff.
Yep.
So
I hope so.
Yeah.
I hope so too.
Go Steelers.
Yeah, the X factor I believe is Le'Veon Bell. We'll see how that goes. What do you think, Gavin?
Yeah, I'm gonna go Steelers in this one. I think it's going to be a good game still. The Patriots are going to be upset after losing this last week, and they'll know how important it is for them to win this game. So I think they'll show up. And they do have historically they've got the Steelers number,
Yep.
but I think that the Steelers have been firing on all cylinders lately, and their offense is going to be too much for the New England offense that couldn't stop smoking Jay Cuddy. So I got Steelers in this one.
You
And I
guys,
think it's very important for the Steelers to get a home field advantage in the playoffs.
yeah,
So if they do make it to the AFC Championship, they're going to be at home and not at Patriots.
yeah, you guys are gonna be a little surprised with my pick here. No way the Steelers win this game.
You going to angry
Wow.
Tom Brady?
No way. Coming off a loss to the Dolphins, being embarrassed on Monday night, as much as I want the Steelers to win, they have to prove it to me first. I picked the Steelers in the AFC Championship last year. I was very passionate about that pick. I wanted the Steelers to represent the AFC in the Super Bowl, and they got obliterated. And I believe that Belichick, of all the games all season long, the Patriots are going to show up to this one, and it might not be close. And
Wow.
it's a prove it to me game. If the Steelers win, I'll be riding the Steelers come playoff time, but no way the Steelers win this game. Patriots, Tom Brady, they bounce back and they prove to everyone that they're the team to beat in the NFL. I'm gonna say something like 34-20 Patriots.
And if that happens, then they're facing the Bills and the Jets. And if they win out, they're going to have home field advantage for the playoffs.
Exactly. They'll have home field, and the Steelers will have to go to Foxborough in the playoffs, and it's a recipe for same thing happening last year, and I hope I'm wrong. I hope the Steelers prove it. I'm a Steelers fan, but I'm going to be watching this game very closely.
You make a very good point.
Yeah.
For me, this is going to be the game of the week, the game I'm the most excited about,
Yep.
even over the Bears and Lions.
Yep. So.
Yeah, I wouldn't be too excited for that game if I were you. And it's not going to be that good for you.
Yeah.
Emotionally, I have to. I just can't help myself.
You know, you make a good point, and it almost seems too obvious with their week 16 and 17 games, and the importance of this one, and maybe that being part of the reason why they lost this week to the Dolphins, the Patriots.
Yeah. I think that Bill Belichick is up to something, and I think that they'll prove it. We'll see. It's going to be a hell of a game. I'm really looking forward to Bears, Lions, Chargers, Chiefs, Rams, Seahawks, Patriots, Steelers. So many good games coming up week 15. I can't wait. We'll be back for another podcast. Hope to see you guys again next week. Don't forget to subscribe, and we'll see you again next week, guys. Thanks for coming on.
Yep, thank you. Thanks for listening, guys.
Yep.
Thanks for having me.
Yep. We'll see you. Peace.